Two Jordans, same brand, but we got totally different personalities. So in this video, we're gonna break down which is the best of these two options, and let's go ahead and find that out. So I'm gonna give you guys my little spill, and then we'll kind of break down design, aesthetics, comfort, and just the whole little category by category. So also look for the chapters down below so you can go ahead and navigate through this video a little better if you are looking for a specific part to check for in this video. But you guys, let us go ahead and break down both of these shoes. Now, both these shoes are reviewed, both are on the channel, so you can go ahead and check them out and feel free to do so. But I feel like these shoes are kind of two different shoes, but I feel like I kind of compare them because they're kind of in the same category of like lifestyle shoes and things like that. But I feel like they're two different shoes. I feel like one is really out there, really wild, really unique, and one is like really classic. One is like really wearable, and one is just kind of, you know, just kind of one of those classics. So let us go ahead and talk about how I feel about them first. Me personally, I really like both of these shoes. If I had to pick one side of the spectrum to pick, I'm gonna say that for the end of the video. So stay tuned and watch the whole video. But I will say they each have their own components that kind of make them unique and better in their own ways. Like this one probably has, I would say, arguably a better design, creatively speaking. And this one just has a better job of its wearable design. You know, this sneaker you can wear with basically anything. This one's just very unique, and it's gonna be like your statement sneaker. So they kind of play two different spots in your collection. But yeah, I feel like that's all I kind of want to say off the bat. The one thing I do not like about the Zion is the voodoo name to it. I just don't like the energy behind that, and that just kind of doesn't sit right with my heart. So that's kind of a reason why I just would be more compelled on this side. Not saying I would pick this one, but just saying I'm more compelled. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the design and aesthetics though about these shoes, and I feel like they are both interesting. But when we kind of go from the Zion One Low Voodoo alternate, this shoe is like complete chaos, but I would say in the best way. It has mismatched panels, frayed stitching, and has like the nice deep purples and just different type of purples in this shoe with that patchwork texture. And this shoe right here looks handcrafted and culture driven. Now you put these on right here, and I definitely gotta say this is definitely gonna make people stare. It's very unique, and it's loud, artistic, and it's definitely a storyline of its own. So if I had to give this design and aesthetic an overall 1 out of 10, I gotta say Nike nailed it. But I'm gonna give it a 9. I feel like a 9 or like a 8, so I'm gonna give it 8.5. It's pretty solid for this sneaker. And now as you kind of switch sides to that Air Jordan 4 RM, this one right here is very clean, structured, and modern. It's like as if a Jordan 4 and a Jordan 1 Low had like kind of a nice middle ground in a minimalist sneaker studio. Now with that Air Jordan 4 RM, you do have a very sleek shape, premium feel, and it is very easy to style. So the winner ultimately depends on your ultimate vibe and just kind of, you know, how you style things, and kind of like if you're more on the crazy side of the spectrum or just more on the chill. But I would say ultimately for me personally, I would say the Air Jordan 4 RM has to win for me personally, just because I'm more of the classic. I love white, and I just like things that are very versatile and can just be worn with a multitude of situations. So me personally, design aesthetics, I'm gonna give it to the Air Jordan 4 RM. That is gonna be 1 for the RM, and we still have 0 for the Voodoo. Now, section number 2. Section number 2 is gonna be talking about comfort and kind of like that on-foot feel. So we're gonna start off with that Zion One Low, and within the Zion One Low, it has very low profile cushioning, which means it's kind of more on the minimal side. It's definitely not as comfortable as like an SE or something like that, and it really doesn't have too much comfort to it, so I wouldn't really expect too much coming out this sneaker. But it does have decent padding. It's more stiff, I would say, because of the layered materials, and it's comfortable, but definitely not all day level. So I would say these feel good, but it's not crazy soft, and it's definitely more for a look, and it's kind of more for the fashion than anything else. But as we kind of switch sides to the Air Jordan 4 RM, this one has a softer underfoot feel, more flexible, and it's lighter than people would probably expect. It has a little heft to it compared to the Jordan 1, but it's definitely not heavy when we kind of talk about, you know, everyday sneakers and such. But I also do want to say it's way easier to wear for hours because of the padding it has on the shoe, and just because of the, you know, the cushioning setup. I feel like the cushioning setups are, you know, two different worlds. So I gotta give this section, with all things being said, to the Air Jordan 4 RM, because I feel like the cushioning and the on-foot feel is just, it's a better experience when it comes to that Jordan 4 RM. So 2-0, and this is not even close. This section is not close. But if you think comfort kind of settles this battle, wait until you see how versatility plays into this. Now, as we kind of get into styling and wearability, the Zion One Low is the fit piece of the whole entire outfit. You wear it when you want that attention, and you kind of pick your outfit based on, you know, the colors around the shoe. This shoe right here could definitely go with some cargo pants, You got some nice, I would say some chill neutral tones, vintage outfits and things like that, and I gotta say that would be fire. But with simple fits, it can definitely overpower everything, which I feel like it kind of depends on the vibe you want. But then as you kind of go to the Air Jordan 4RM, you can rock these with literally anything. You can wear them with shorts, jeans, cargo, sweats, tech wear, streetwear, athleisure, you name it. And it's definitely the shoe that kind of shows up and basically will adapt to anything you put on. And this shoe kind of reminds me of the Air Force One. It obviously has that little red accent to it on the little tongue, but when it comes to wearing this shoe, I feel like you can definitely get away with more with this Air Jordan 4RM than when it comes to this Air Jordan 1 Low. So I guess you guys can kind of tell where I'm gonna go with this. Air Jordan 4RM is definitely gonna win in the versatility because it's just so universal. Durability is gonna be a very big point when it comes to these sneakers, because you know you want to pay a price for a sneaker, but you want it to last as well. So one shoe might outlast the others by years, so we're gonna go break that down on which one that could possibly be in that durability and build quality. Now the Zion 1 Low has thick materials, has some patchwork construction. It's rugged, but the stitching is exposed and could wear down if used heavily. So basically, when we're talking about durability with the Zion 1 Low, I would say it's kind of delicate in its own way. It kind of has a lot of suede to it and a lot of materials that could be, you know, kind of ruined to a point where, you know, you get this white dirty on this Air Jordan 4RM, but it's still wipeable. You know, it's not going to be like a suede where it's a little harder to clean. So in that aspect, I would say when it comes to that durability, I would ultimately say the Jordan 4RM might have it. But let's go ahead and talk about the RM. And with the RM, you do have that reinforced cage, solid overlays, denser construction, and much more resistant long term. So this thing right here is definitely built for everyday beating, kind of like your everyday beater sneaker. And the winner here is going to be the Jordan 4 RM. But price to value, this might be the closest category yet. And I would say because that Zion 1 Low is a Zion collab and it has like that voodoo design that kind of dates back to years ago, resale can spike, and I've already seen it go up pretty high, and the demand has been crazy in stores because I did indeed go ahead and shop at the Chic, and it was hard to find my size. So that being said, the retail is pretty solid when it comes to the Zion 1 Low, but the resale varies a lot. Now, as we talk about the Air Jordan 4 RM, this one stays around retail most times, making it a crazy steal for how premium it feels on foot. So another win for the Jordan 4 RM in this section. And now the moment you've been waiting for, I'm gonna give you guys my final verdict. And my final verdict on this shoe is gonna be on the both after testing. I would say ultimately the Air Jordan 4 RM is going to win in terms of the best shoe. I believe the Voodoo alternate definitely has some aspects to it that a lot of people would like, but in terms of me and what I'm looking for out of a shoe, I feel like this shoe, the energy around it isn't right as well, and I feel like it's a lot going on. I feel like for my personal day-to-day, this shoe would definitely fit more into my collection than this one. I feel like this one will only work for one fit, and I like my shoes to work with like a lot of different fits no matter what outfit I put on. So this shoe would definitely fit for my case. Let me know what you would pick in that comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you kind of found that this little comparison was helpful and you kind of deciding from the two, or kind of just, you know, a great video to kind of watch and just try to see which one is better. But I appreciate you for watching this far through, and I really recommend you guys hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on these daily uploads. And for now, I really recommend check out my sneaker reviews playlist right here, where you'll be able to see in-depth reviews on these sneakers, but not only just these, you'll see a bunch of other sneaker releases that I've done. So check it out, and I'll see you guys there.